We're back with our 2021 rookie profile. Is Sam Ehlinger a heat seeker? Watch and find out. It's Brad from RotoHeat and RookieDraftGuide.com. Welcome back to the channel. We appreciate, as always, you guys checking out this video. If you haven't already done the like and subscribe and clicking that little bell for the notifications and stay up to date when we go live here on YouTube or when we drop new content, we would greatly appreciate it. I know you just see me, but there's an entire team behind me that's working their tail off, evaluating, watching film, preparing 2021 rookie content, as well as pumping out articles over on rotoheat.com. This is a nice way to show some love back to the guys that are working hard behind the scenes. As always, we thank you guys for everything you do. Let's get this video up to 100 likes. And let's get the channel up to 2,000 subs. I know we're getting close, and we appreciate everybody that's been joining up here recently. Don't forget, check out RookieDraftGuide.com for all your 2021 rookie needs. All right, so I ask a question every show because I want the comments to blow up. I want to talk, have good conversation. My question for Sam Ehlinger, for you guys for Sam Ehlinger, is he draftable? Is he a Superflex quarterback that you're willing to take a shot on? In a 1 QB league, is he anything? Let me know in the comments below what you think about him. All right, so coming out of high school, he went to Westlake in Texas, which is for those of you that do Devy or do any kind of deeper diving on players, Westlake's a pretty big high school for pumping out college and pro type players. They've seen quite a few over the years. He was a really highly recruited prospect. He was, if you look at like 247 Rivals, place I normally mention, he was in the top 5 as a dual threat type quarterback. Was in, kind of like the top 150 in the nation when it comes to the recruiting in 2017. So he had a lot going for him coming out of high school. He was MVP in high school at the, I'm going to have to look now. I had it on the top of my tongue here a minute ago. Yeah, he was Class 6A offensive MVP, both by AP and Texas Sports Writers Association as a junior in 2015. So, coming out of high school, you see there's quite a bit of characteristics and quite a bit of things that are moving in the right direction for him. Good size, I think he's right around 6'2". I have to verify that. Yeah, right around 6'2", depending on what they measure him at. He was getting recruited by all sorts of colleges, everything from SMU to McNeese State to Houston to Florida State, and then obviously he chose Texas. He lived down there. That's where he's from. So Texas has a special place. 4-star prospect. When he got to Texas, it wasn't really bad. I mean, he had a pretty solid college career. So the question that we'll have to answer, and we'll try to help you understand in this video, is he one of those guys that's good for college, but just doesn't make it at the pro level as anything more than, kind of a backup or somebody who's surviving, doing gadgety type stuff? That's the issue that we run into as we evaluate and we look through Ehlinger. When you look at his stats in college were perfectly fine. I mean, when you watched his on-field play in college, he was very much a leader on the field. He was not afraid of big situations, big moments. He never really seemed under pressure in the situations that he was in there. The teams around him weren't amazing, but there was some good talent, and he stepped up and worked hard. Over 60% completion percentage for his career, actually 62.5, 7.7 yards per attempt for his career, 8.2 air yards per attempt for his career, 94 touchdowns, 27 interceptions, 145 QBR. He had good production. The question that you're going to have to answer, and as we get into the pro side of this video, is he draftable? With as many quarterbacks in this class, he's probably 6 or 7 in this class, depending on how you feel about guys like Mond and Trask and some of them. I mean, even though this kid was very productive and showed a lot of grit on the field, there's some concerns. His wind-up release, the way that he delivers the ball, the arm strength. There's just so many different concerns that as we move to the next level and we evaluate what he can do at the pro level, I just don't, it's hard for me to tell you that this kid's even draftable in most situations, even in a super flex. But as we talk through, and as I talk you through what the evaluators say, hopefully you comment below and let me know what you think, and we'll keep this conversation going. All right, this is it. You're on the clock late in your rookie draft. You're sifting through draft rankings and trying to figure out who's that late round steal that you're going to grab and make your league mates look foolish because you took him and nobody was even thinking about him. Is that Sam Ehlinger? I don't know that I would say that, but it's an interesting conversation to have, especially in a Superflex format. You know, the kid showed a lot in college of being able to make things out of nothing, but there are a lot of red flags. So when I went through the evaluators' comments, and for our team, you know, overall, he is probably more like wide receiver, or I mean, probably more like a wide receiver, quarterback, 9, 10. You know, I mean, he's at that point where you're probably not touching him, quite honestly. As much as the player really showed out and worked his tail off in college and produced when plays were breaking down, when the pocket's collapsing. You know, a lot of what our guy saw was as the play was breaking down, he had enough athletic ability, enough wiggle to his game that he could get out and continue the play and to make something happen. And that's really good, especially at the next level where you have to be a playmaker. I mean, you have to be able to do things unconventionally at times because the pocket isn't always, you know, with these super freaky defensive ends and edge rushers, the pocket collapses quickly if you're not delivering the ball quickly. But on top of that, for Ehlinger, some of the issues you run into is you saw a lot of balls float. You know, when I was reading through the guys' notes, multiple guys said those balls hang up in the air for a long time, swinging around, floating around, you know, and that's not a great thing in the next level because everybody's very good athletic-wise at the next level, mostly. And that ball will get intercepted if it's hanging up in the air too long. I mean, it's just going to be tough for him to find situations where he can be successful unless he goes to a system that's West Coast where you're getting the ball out quickly for a lot of short, medium route type route patterns from his wideouts. I mean, there's a lot of concerns about he's got to go to the perfect situation. Even then, there's not a guy on the team that thinks he's anything more than a backup at best. Now, nowadays, with how injuries hit the league, backups still will get action from time to time, but it doesn't look good for him in the Roto Heat and RookieDraftGuide.com team's eyes. It's looking like we're going to let him float out there just like the ball that he throws and let somebody else take a shot on him. He's got some pluses, but there's just too many negatives. You know, everybody likes that he's got some athletic ability and he can make some things happen on the ground. But, you know, arm strength, his ability to make plays happen can't overcome the fact that there's just a lacking in some of these other areas. So, again, like I said, in the comments, are you drafting him? Tell us why we're wrong. Let's have that conversation. Maybe he's a higher quarterback on your list because of his production, because of his time at Texas and really being, you know, kind of the lead dog there. Let us know. Let's have that conversation below. As always, Facebook, Discord, do all those things. We appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon.